In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this little card with the numbers and the background. Off we go. Hi, my name is Tracy. I'm with Not Afraid of Color, and today I'll show you how I created this textured background using the Tim Holtz folder. And I just wanted to show you another one that I had done with just a kind of little bit of a different technique. But the technique's basically the same, just the colors are different and you know, sort of the same. Anyway, this is my Tim Holtz numeric folder, 3D embossing folder. And I've got, what I'm going to use today is watercolor paper, and I like to use the rough side because I'm not going to be doing any stamping on it. It's fine, the rougher the better. So I'll run this through and be right back. All right, now I did a few of them. This is craft cardstock, or the heavy duty cardstock from Ranger, but we're going to be working on the one with watercolor. And I don't mind that there's that side there because the side is just basically going to get cut off anyway. So what I have here is I have my Lunar paste. This is a Simon Hurley product, and the color I use here is Tropical Tango. And I'm going to be using my finger tools to put this on. It cleans up really easily, and I just find that it spreads on the best, and I can kind of rub it down into those crevices using my fingers. If you want to use a brush by all means. My fingers are my favorite tools because I never lose them. Anyway, I'm just rubbing this in, and the other thing I like about the Lunar paste, and I did try some others, is that it is very, very opaque. So you know, I'm not seeing a lot of white through there. And then I want to just make sure I get it nice and even and rubbed in, and then I'm going to set it aside to dry, and it really doesn't take that long to dry at all because I don't have a thick coat of it. You know, maybe 5 minutes, and I can help it along with the heat tool. I'm going to make sure that it's kind of evenly put on there, and then I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to clean up my mess here. And cleans up easily with water. And I like to just spray some water on my fingers because that helps me get it off my fingers too. And then just take my towel and wipe it down. Very, very easy. All right, now that it's nice and dry, what I have now is I have my Foundry Wax. This is a Tim Holtz product. And I am going to metal this bad boy up. I'm going to shake it really, really well. It's got a little ball inside. And I'm just going to put some down here on my glass mat. And again, use my finger tool and start to spread that on. And I don't mind if it gets everywhere. I'm concentrating on the highest points, but again, this is supposed to look metal. So the Lunar paste in the background is more of a patina that, you know, the kind of a patina look that I'm going for. So I'm just going to kind of tap this around so it thickens up, because it does thicken up. And just spread it on. Again, my finger tool is my favorite tool for this because I can feel what I'm working with. I wouldn't recommend trying to brayer it on because it dries too fast. It dries really, really, really fast. And as it dries, it thickens up and it basically turns into a dust. Do love using this stuff. It's got so many uses to get a metallic look, and today we're gonna do the just the background and the numbers from the original card. I'm not gonna do the bug. You can use whatever you want to decorate the card. So I just kind of flip it around, and you can see that my Lunar paste is getting, my Foundry Wax is getting thicker and thicker. And I forgot the name of this color, so I'll list it in the description box below because brain. I want to say it's Mind. I'm pretty sure it is. And it's okay if I even miss some spots, but I'm going to get up all what's left and move it around and tap it around, and it can be thicker in some spots, thinner in other spots. We're fine with that. So I want to move this up out of my way because I'm going to be heating this, and I do not want to get any heat near my bottle of foundry wax because it'll start to set, and don't want that. I want to use this stuff, not throw it away. So I'm just going to get my heat tool warm, and then I'm going to put heat to it, and you'll see that it turns pretty quickly. So I'm just going to heat it until it turns, and I see my heat tool's not quite hot enough. Once it gets hot enough, there we go. It turns very, very quickly. Now when it's on top of the lunar paste, it does not get as shiny as if you were to put it on plain paper. If I did a second coat, though, it would get shinier. But I like it. I like it like this. So I'm just going around the whole thing. And by the way, I am using my media mat. That stuff cleans off of there very easily as well. I like to have it because it holds my stuff still, and I know that it's heat proof. So once we've got that heated, I'm just going to let it cool for a minute. Clean up. See what I mean? It cleans up very, very easily, and I'm just cleaning it with water and a rag. I'm going to flip it around so we can have a look at it here and make sure that nothing's coming up, and it's not. So the next thing I'm going to get is I'm going to get my black Soot Distress Crayon. And my little, this is the brush I use specifically for the black crayon, my little Tim Holtz stencil brush. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to outline every line here with the crayon. And so I'll speed this up because, yeah, you know, it's outlining. And I'm not even trying to do a perfect job. I'm just getting lines. But I do want lines everywhere there are lines on the background. And you'll see that I'll be using my finger tool. No, I won't be using my finger tool, actually. I'll be using the brush once I get all this outlined. And the crayon, it goes down very smooth, very easy. I'm getting that outline. You could do this, the other one that I showed you, I did with the lunar paste, and then I outlined it with, which crayon did I use? Evergreen Bow, I think. And then on the raised, some of the raised letters, I put both some of Stickles, that Stickles gel, and I put some of that Sizzix Prism paste. That stuff's a trip. So now I'm just gonna make a real mess here. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing, basically pushing that crayon down into the nooks and crannies here. And I'm going to coat them. I'm going to do the whole thing, making sure that I'm seeing that those nooks and crannies are filled in with it. And Tim shows this technique too on his demos. My hand gets sore. Old people, I don't know. But notice that I have the brush very close to the barrel, so it's not in big form. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe that up so I don't get it everywhere. And then I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm going to just tear it up in little pieces. And I like to squirt my mat and then just kind of wrap it on my finger and just rub. And, you know, switch it over many times because you don't want to rub it back on. I'm just trying to rub it off. So I do one back and forth swipe or so, and then I go back in with a clean spot. And that is just how easy it is to do this. Now we've got our little metal looking thing. If you want more grunge, go back in with some more crayon. If you're happy with it, leave it. If you want it completely different, wipe it all off and start over. It does wipe off. So as long as you're wiping with water, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to what I need it to be now, just so that I can kind of orient where I want to put my numbers. So I'm going to cut it down to normal card front size, which is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And that's ready to go. So all we have left to do here is our numbers. I'm going to just do the edges here. I like to go along the edges just to make them black, first of all, and then just to kind of grunge it up just around the edges. And I'm just coloring on there and then wiping with my finger. how suddenly you have a piece of paper that looks like a piece of metal. And just going to clean up the black there, and there we go. There's that card front part. What I need to do now is I need to make the numbers. So let's do that. What I have here is I have my little sidekick because it works perfectly with this countdown die set. And if you don't have any other dies, this is one to really think about purchasing. And I don't have an affiliate with Sizzix or anything, but numbers and big numbers can really make a statement. So this is why I really love this set. And if you do a background and you do numbers, you can do any single card. Christmas 25, Halloween 31, birthday, anniversary, whatever. You've got big old numbers, and it can be the actual focal point of your card. So I'm going to cut 4 of each, and this is just a 110-pound card. Maybe it's even 100-pound cardstock. It's plain old cardstock that I got from probably Michael's or Joann, or no, Hobby Lobby. I don't know. I got it somewhere. I got it somewhere. It's what I generally like to use when I'm die cutting. You can also use watercolor, but I actually ran out of watercolor paper. Sent Mike to the store to get some, and he's freaking out because he can't find it. And anyway, I digress. I'm putting it on there so that I can get 2 sets out of each piece of paper, and I am using my extended plates, brand new from Tim Holtz, and they, of course they're going to slippy slide on me, but you could tape them down if you wanted to. I can't be asked. So I'll go ahead and get all 4 sets cut out, and you can see how quick and easy it is with the sidekick. It's a lot easier than hauling it over to my Vagabond and running it through. Anyway, I'm going to get the 4 sets cut out. I've got them all cut out, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them all together off camera. So I'll be back. All right, I've got them glued, and they're 4 thick. Now I'm coming back in with my foundry wax. Same color that I used on the card, on the background, and I'm going directly down to the number and rubbing it in. And it gets weird on paper, so it thickens up really, really quick, and that's okay. I want that. This is, first of all, we're going to be doing 2 coats. So I'll go ahead and set this layer, and then I'll do a second layer, and I'm going to make it messy on the second layer because I want it to look like beat up metal. So there's layer 1. Now we'll come in with layer 2. And same thing, I'm going directly down onto the numbers, and you see I'm kind of just tapping it around now. So it's messy. Because again, it dries really quick. But I do want to make sure I have the whole thing covered. I'm not worried about the sides. So I'm taking that excess and just kind of wiping it off onto the numbers, closing the lid, and I'm going to heat up that second layer. My heat tool should still be pretty hot. And you see how, and I'm sorry, my hand's kind of in the way, but you see how those thick spots bubbled up on me? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I do want that to cool a little, and it doesn't take long at all. And then I'm going to go in with my lunar paste on the sides. Oh, well, I apologize. Looks like they're doing some utility work outside, so nothing I can do about that. Now, in these little tiny corner areas where I can't fit my finger tool, I'll use my little spatula tool to get into those crevices. And I don't care, and I don't mind, and I actually want it if some of it gets on the front. This is not supposed to be a nice, neat situation. This is grunge. Well, it's metal grunge. It's heavy metal. No, kidding. I can't abide by that screamo music. I don't mind metal like Metallica, like that kind of stuff, but I don't want to hear people screaming with the deep voice. It's nuts. Hey, but if it's your thing, go for it. Just please turn down the volume. So I'm getting all the sides, and now you see I missed one side, but that's okay. No big deal. I can fix it later. So now that that's dry, and you do want to let it dry, I am going in again with my Distress Crayon, and I'm getting it dirty. so that it, you know, kind of matches with the card. I don't want it too shiny. I want it to be old, because brand new shiny stuff doesn't necessarily get patinaed now, does it? There we go. Just get that thing dirty. All right, I'm ready with my letters. Might do a little bit more wiping around. And now I'm going to decide how I want them on my card. And I want to put them on with the little brads. So I've got my little Sizzix. This is for shaping flowers. But I find it also great for poking holes. So I've got my little brads, and I want to pick out the copper brads because I've got them all mixed up. And I want 5 of them, so I'm going to do 2 on the number 1, and I'm going to do 3 on the number 7. You can do as many as you want. Let's hope I have enough. Yeah, I do. Okay, good. I'm going to have to get some more. I have more somewhere. I just can't be asked to go look for them. I just grabbed what's handy, but I want to make sure I have the right color. So there I've got it, and I want to decide placement on my 17, and I like that kind of skewed placement. And so I'm going to take my poke tool. I'm just going to poke it down on the number and on the card you know, the background thingy, and just kind of measure where I want the next one. And I'm eyeballing it. I'm not, again, I'm lazy. I don't want to get out my ruler. I'll just eyeball it, and that'll be just fine. So that the point is that it gets the appearance that it's been riveted on. And for my 7, I'm going to start at this far corner. Once you get one in, then the other ones aren't too bad. You know, you can move it how you want it. And it's not difficult. The hardest part for me is opening up the prongs on those things. So I'm just making sure this is even the way I want it, then poking the next hole and putting the brad in. And because this background is already so textured, those brads aren't going to make a lick of difference, you know, from when you're placing this onto a card. And to put it on, you could obviously, now see, I'm going to dirty up these brads too. You could pop it up on some foam tape, or you could glue it directly down. So there's the original that I did. That's for my grandson. And then here's the new one, just so I could show you how I do it. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Have a great day.